dear friends and guests, I have a great treat in store for you. My dear friend Danny Thomas has invited some of his television artists to entertain at my daughter's wedding. Ladies and gentlemen, Danny Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Ryder. Thank you. You gotta start off each day with a song, even when things go wrong.
Mr. Thomas.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't think of a better way to entertain you than to have the loveliness and talent of Miss Kay Starr. And if you don't mind, I would like to join her in one of our typical Oklahoma songs. What do you say? You're my sugar. You're my sugar, you're my sugar, you're my sugar, but you're never sweet to me. You're my sugar, you're my sugar, you're my sugar, but you're never sweet to me. You are my one and only, the only one I've kissed.
Well, that black book in your pocket, honey, ain't a grocery list.
I took you to a nightclub to have a bang-up time.
We wound up washing dishes 'cause you didn't have a dime.
You're my sugar, you're my sugar, you're my sugar, but you're never sweet to me. You're my sugar, you're my sugar, you're my sugar, but you're never sweet to me.
I ordered you a collar right from the catalog.
Well, how come I can't stop barking 'cause that collar's for a dog?
Well, next day I sent you neckties. Did you like the ties you got?
Yeah, but how come you tied those neckties, honey, in a hangman's knot? You're my sugar, you're my sugar, you're my sugar, but you're never sweet to me. You're my sugar, you're my sugar, you're my sugar, but you're never sweet to me. I bought you was nothing but the best.
Yeah, well, you only paid $1 down. I had to pay the rest.
Well, how about the fur coat that I bought you the other day?
Well, that new fur coat you bought me just got up and walked away.
You're my sugar, you're my sugar, you're my sugar, and I am sweet on you. No, I'll tell you the truth. I'm in the habit of appearing at confirmations and baptisms, wedding parties and stuff like that, and Elks Club meetings and what have you, but terrible thing has been happening lately. You know, you work real hard trying to get a new joke, and you tell this new joke at these affairs, and what happens? Some wise guy who wants to be funny, and people in all walks of life want to be funny, well, this wise guy runs off and tells it to all of his friends. Then his friends come to the nightclub where I'm working. They hear me tell the same story, and they say, how do you like that? Stole it from Herman. Well, there's just too many Hermans running around. And I thought that I would prepare for you a little tirade against Herman and his ilk, and I hope no one's offended. I've got a woman who loves me. Our house is free and clear. And we've got 3 lovely brats to fill our hearts with cheer. Still, I've got the blues. With me, it's competition blues. In the woods, you'll find that lumbermen, in orchestras, the rumbermen, and even Harlem's numbermen are trying to be funny. Photographers, the picture men, electricians, the fixture men, the salad chefs, the mixture men, they're making me lose money. Why, oh, why won't you listen to my plea and leave my corny jokes to me? I was at a benefit performance in Cleveland not so long ago, and during the show, there was a woman hysterical with laughter. After the show, I had to walk over to say thank you. She said, you don't know, you remind me so much of my nephew Arthur. Now, who is her nephew Arthur? A spot remover in a cleaning and dyeing establishment. This guy takes spots from dirty clothes, runs around killing people with my jokes. So his friends come to the nightclub not to see Danny Thomas, but to see the fellow who does the impersonation of Arthur Rappaport. No, it goes like that. You take John the Butcher out in Beverly Hills, California, where I live. Here's a fellow who was the nicest man the Lord ever created till he started going to saloons. Now he wants to be funny, and the women call him a darling. A big love of a man, 6'8", uglier than I am. Suddenly he's a darling. He goes in for Hollywood touches. Each week he's got a different color sawdust on the floor. In the display counter, the pig's feet are wearing open-toed wedgies. That gets laughs, brother. He's got an assistant. The fella plucks feathers from chickens. They call him Mo the Flecker. Happens to be a frustrated ventriloquist, so if you should ask, is this chicken fresh killed? The chicken says, Schmo, can't you see I'm still bleeding? This is unfair competition. I mean, would you think a plumber would go for a joke? There's a plumber right here in Wall Street, in New York's Wall Street, a small little plumbing shop. He's got a sign on his truck that gets a belly laugh every time he drives down the street. What do you think the sign says? Bonelli, the Wall Street plunger. And that's just a handle. This is unfair competition, that's all. Even hecklers have changed. Years ago, a heckler was a fellow that had too much to drink. He'd open his mouth in a nightclub and you'd slaughter him with the stock phrases. But today, not today, brother. The heckler's a changed man. He comes in, he's rather professional-looking fellow. Mumbles a little bit, but that's all. Brings in a party of 10 or 20 who stare at you and laugh at him. And he won't touch a drop of liquor. It might louse up his timing. Oh, I had a heckler hit me with a line when I was at the Copacabana last season. I was fumbling for something to say, and this heckler caught the opportunity. He says to me, boy, are you for blunging? You mean you know that word? I did 7 months research on that word. Verblungend happens to be a Yiddish word, and Yiddish is derived from many, many European languages. Consequently, this was a difficult word to track down. I don't know what foreign tongues you speak. I don't know the native lands of your forebears, but I am certain there is no word in your tongue that says what verblungend says. You might mildly approach it in English by saying lost in a state of utter confusion. And you still haven't said verblungend. For the benefit of the Anglo-Saxon and Nordic people who are not familiar with Semitic phrases, let me draw for you a word picture of verblungend. Picture a lunch counter. A lunch counter. Back of the counter is the typical little waitress, 90 pounds, soaking wet, who is invariably lifting a 50-gallon vat of boiling water to pour into a coffee urn. As she strikes this classic pose, a truck driver comes in. He says, 4 coffees to go. 1 black, 1 cream only, 1 sugar, 1 2 sugar. Now, the girl goes through the procedure of pouring the coffee into the container. Then she has to put the tops on these cups. Have you ever watched with compassion as these poor slaves, these public servants, endeavor to put the cardboard tops on these cups? She fumbles around, finally plunges down to the bottom, scalds her fingers. There's one girl I know has no fingers left. They call her Knuckles Louise, this kid. She finally gets the whole thing in a sack, twists the top of the sack, hands it to the man. She says, that'll be 40 cents, please. He says, which one's got the 2 sugars? This girl is verblungend.